And St Pat's claim their first ABCA title in more than 30 years.
First up, the ABCA Grand Final, and St Pat's are the new champions after beating the Panthers by 108 runs. It's St Pat's first Grand Final win in more than 3 decades and ends their Panthers hoodoo. St Pat's won the toss and sent the Panthers in. They were 2 for 18 when Kieran Knight joined Cade Webb in the middle. St Pat's were desperate in the field as the pressure mounted. Webb was lucky to survive and went in the attack, much to the frustration of Alan Alberson. But Webb's luck ran out on 20, Kane Arandarchicus taking a screamer. St Pat's got their 4th wicket when Kieran Knight got the faintest of nicks. Anthony Bradley was the next to go as the Panthers slumped to be 5 for 50. St Pat's all out for 132, Steve Wright top scoring with 27. Aaron West the best the bowlers with 4 wickets. In reply, St Pat's slumped to be 4 for 21, but Chris Haynes, Nathan Matsonos, then Heath Norton made sure St Pat's passed the total. Norton and Haynes both made 50s as they set about making sure the Panthers couldn't play for an outright win. When Norton was cleaned up, St Pat's were 9 for 220. With time running out, Panthers captain Steve Wright conceded defeat, giving St Pat's their first grand final in 32 years.
When the Saints go marching in! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Oh, I want to be in the number! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Oh, when the Saints go marching in! Go marching in! Oh, when the Saints go marching in!
St Pat's are the ABCA champions for the first time in 32 years. Norm Wighton and Harry Flood never dreamt of such a long wait when they won the 1972 Grand Final.
It means a great deal, actually, yes. I've been looking forward to it for 32 years.
It's a big thrill, and I'd imagine that we can have a premiership party again shortly and have a few more numbers there, which would be great.
Back in 1972, Joe Adams started with 72 runs against the Hoppers that boasted would-be Australian player Steve Rickson.
Things were completely different then. The grounds were different. There weren't that many grounds. The equipment was different. We never ever wore the headgear they wear nowadays.
Both Flood and Wighton say the 1972 side would beat the current team if they went head-to-head.
Naturally we would, but you can't really compare them. We had an outstanding batsman in Joe Adams. I haven't seen anybody to compare with him nowadays.
St Pat's coach Aaron West says the win was for past and present players.
And that probably made it a little bit more special, the fact that it's been that, and a lot of guys that have been around the club for that amount of time were there to celebrate with us, so yeah, it was good.
After 3 decades without a grand final, the monkey is off St Pat's back.
It was just relief. You know, guys like Dean and Heath and James Cootsberg have been there a lot longer than I have, so probably even more relief for them.
St Pat's have their presentation this weekend.
And it's time for sport. Cameron Best.
Thanks, Dennis. Coming up after the break, the Bulldogs hit pre-season form and the Patties break a premiership drought.
Tonight.
Good evening. First to cricket, and in the upset of the season, St Patrick's have ended a 30-year premiership drought by downing the Lavington Panthers in the ABCA Grand Final. The Patties had to mount several comebacks to deny the favourites, Lavington, a hat-trick of premierships.
It was the matchup that everyone had looked forward to, the top sides battling it out for premiership glory. Lavington had it all to play for. A hat-trick of premierships was on offer. The Panthers batted first, but only 6 players reached double figures and never went on with it. Captain Steve Wright was the highest scorer on 27 after opener Trent Ball went for 3. Cade Webb and Jared Lyons got starts but went just as cheaply. In the end, the Panthers were dismissed for 132. The wicket also proved a problem for the Patties. By the close of Saturday, they'd lost opener David Martin and captain Dean Carroll had a life on 3. He went on the next day to make 37. But it was Chris Haynes with 54 not out and Heath Norton 53, which proved the difference between the two sides. That and the old adage, catches win matches. St Pat's made the most of their chances, while Lavington dropped 5. Lavington beat St Pat's twice in the latter part of the season and looked to have the goods going into the final. But, as they say, it's third time lucky, and winners are grinners, leaving Lavington to ponder what might have been. Philip Jennings, Win News.